Hi guys, and welcome to another video. So, it's the big one. It's the big one, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm absolutely terrified. I keep getting asked, Sonny lad, how you feeling? How are your nerves? And, face value on the front, I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm fine, mate, I'm fine. But in reality, I'm like this.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Yeah, I'm absolutely shitting myself. Because at the end of the day, as simple as it is, with a win on Monday, we could be top of the league, depending on how Hull do. But if we do win, we're always going to end up being in the top two. We'll be in second if we win. And again, depending on how Hull do. Hull are taking on Northampton. If Northampton did us a favour and beat Hull, then we beat Peterborough by a couple of goals, which I don't think is going to be anywhere near as easy as that. We could see ourselves top of the league. So it's massive. It's one of many massive remaining games in the running. But if you have a look at Peterborough's form, I actually thought that they were going to be. I thought that their form was tailing off a bit. They drew 3-3 with Rochdale, then they got beat at Bloomfield Road against Blackpool 3-1, and I thought they're done now. We're going to catch them at a brilliant time. But then they went and smashed Accrington 7-0, didn't they? Which I think was, it was a one-off. That kind of thing happens, but still incredibly impressive nevertheless. And then last time out, they played Fleetwood. Now, I did have a look at the highlights over the last few games. Of course, the 7-0 thrashing of Accrington was, like I say, a bit of a fluke if you want to have a proper analysis of a team, I guess, anyway. But in general, I'm trying to find their weaknesses, and I do struggle. I really do struggle. I looked at extended highlights of the Fleetwood game, and I actually think Fleetwood were actually quite unfortunate to come away with no points. I think Fleetwood did make quite a lot of chances, but in the end, it was a Clark Harris free kick in the 89th minute that put the game to bed, and they won the game 1-0. But I've said from the beginning of the season, I think these have the best squad. I think attacking wise, they have some amazing attacking talent. Suruki Dembele, for me, I think is one of the best technically gifted players in the division. I think he's very, very good. Of course, you've got Clark Harris as well. Schmodix, a very, very good player. Championship level, in my opinion, as well. So very, very good attacking wise. Now, defensively for me, although generally they are good defensively, I'm just trying to think of one little weakness when I have been looking at these highlights over the last few games I've watched. And one thing I have noticed, I could be wrong because there's only so much you can gather from highlights, but I find that on set pieces, they look ever so slightly shaky and they're quite slow at getting the ball out of the box and rushing players. When opposition do get it, they're around the edge of the box. They're quite slow to get out, which I think could play to our benefit because set pieces, generally, we can look pretty dangerous with like a Wyke in there, and of course we get the big men up top as well, throwing players forward. And of course, if Ross Stewart ends up coming on later on in the game, we could pose some problems. But other than that, I can't really find too many weak points. I've got a solid midfield going forward. They're technically gifted, they're very quick, and they can be lethal. So our makeshift defence that's been doing so well over the last couple of months, it's really going to be tested. But I'll go to my preferred 11 now. I've really struggled with this, only because we've got such a selection headache. We've got players coming back, so I need to take that into consideration. And before we do have a look at my preferred 11, I was thinking to myself, should I just go all out? Players that are just coming back. If Bailey Wright could maybe make this game, although I don't think he's going to. Denver Hume, should we just chuck him straight back in? Maybe not. I've been trying to level it out, but then I've also been just taking other bits and pieces into consideration, like form and just the way certain individuals are playing and in what kind of system, and of course taking Peterborough, our opposition, into consideration as well. So I will explain my preferred 11 for this game. So here it is. So as you can see, we've gone for the sort of 4-2-3-1 again. So we've got Burge in goal, McFadden, O'Neill, Sanderson and McLaughlin. Now I have said countless times now, I keep repeating myself in match previews, with McLaughlin, generally I do prefer him as a centre-back or on the right of a back three. I do generally prefer Power there, but over the last couple of games, over the last month or two, I feel like he's just grown into that captaincy Power, and I need to give him the credit that he does deserve. Although I actually think he's a better right back than he is a central midfielder. He has become such a leader, and I can't take that away from him, regardless of how he plays. And to have that in the centre, and then with Winchester as well, Power, he scored in the last game, so I don't really want to move him away from that position, so he might get a bit of confidence in going forward. And if you have someone like Winchester alongside him who does control the midfield, which was my biggest gripe in the last performance, even though we did win against Oxford, we didn't have the players there, i.e. a Winchester or a Ledbetter, to control the midfield. I know that, of course, Lee Collins, captain of Yeovil, he did sadly pass away, and I do believe that the reason Winchester didn't start was for personal reasons, because he did play with Lee Collins at Forest Green. You know, I wasn't aware of the connection now until after I did that match review. So, you know, of course, it's absolutely heartbreaking. And if Winchester is ready to come back, then great. If not, then okay, take all the time you need. You know, there's bigger things to life than football. And of course, if his mates passed away, someone he's worked closely with, of course, take all the time you need. You know, if Winchester isn't ready, then maybe chuck Leadbitter in there, or Scowen. You know, I did say, and that will contradict what I said in the last game, but away from home, that's generally when we do find ourselves chasing the game a bit, and you do want someone like Scowen in there. But if Winchester is fit, he absolutely gets into starting 11 for me. Now, up top, this is where I really, really struggled, because I feel like Gooch had a really poor first half, but a much, much better second half, and he got himself an assist as well when he set up McGeady. So, is it unfair that I drop him? Maybe, but I also find O'Brien, like I've said so many times, O'Brien does so much of the dirty work that not many people take into consideration. That leaves Wyke in the middle, and then Wyke, that's where we want him. We want Wyke in the middle. That's where he gets all his goals from, and a lot of it is thanks to O'Brien for doing all the dirty work around him. And O'Brien, sometimes he can pop up with a goal himself, so I don't see there's any harm in it. Got McGeady on one side, Jones definitely starts on the other. It was absolutely phenomenal coming back from injury, and he played so well against Oxford. So that'd be my starting 11, but things could change. I wouldn't actually probably complain too much if Gooch did start ahead of O'Brien, but I just feel like I say, O'Brien really helps White to stay where we want him to be, and that is in the 18-yard box. But other than that, I think that is a lineup that I think could probably do us a job at Peterborough. And of course, in the comments down below, let me know what your preferred 11 would be. I do always read the comments. I do find them very interesting. I like to gather your guys' opinions about stuff. And sometimes I do stumble across an opinion or a comment and I think, oh, actually, yeah, I didn't think of that. And it is really interesting to read through. So yeah, let us know what your 11 would be. I mean, again, I've made this video again before the pre-match press conference. So again, there could be players in my preferred 11 that are injured, or maybe they picked up a knock or something, or they're not going to play, like Winchester, for example. I could be completely wrong with that, but even so, that would be my preferred 11 as we speak. Now, in terms of my score prediction, I don't know whether to just be ballsy and just say we're going to win or we're going to hammer them. Do you know what I mean? Because I think I'd be gutted if we drew. If I predicted a draw and then we actually drew, I'd feel like it's somehow my fault. But I did say, you know, before the Oxford game, that if we were to get 4 points from those two games, I would prefer us to get a draw against Oxford and then win against Peterborough. It gain us a little bit more, or it squeeze the gap a little bit shorter in that way. But I'd really just don't want a draw. I want a win here, and it's not going to be easy at all. Peterborough, I've said plenty of time. I did say at the beginning of the season, I think they're going to win the league. I think they're that good. But do I do it? Oh, sack it. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Sunderland win. I'm going to do it. I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Sunderland win. Charlie Wyke and Jones to get the goals. What am I doing? And Dembele to get the goal for Peterborough. Oh, God. I've really put my neck on the line now, haven't I? But yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. Hopefully, anyway, fingers crossed, because that would really just make this Easter weekend worth it, wouldn't it? It really, really would. And it isn't going to be anywhere near as easy as that. It's on the Sky cameras, but I do tend to find that we generally play better against the better sides. Usually, anyway. Not like I've said in the past. I don't necessarily mean we get the better results or the best results. We don't always get the 3 points. But on Sky cameras, recently we've been all right. We've been decent. We've been getting wins, which used to be a bit of a hoodoo in itself. But this has been a season of breaking hoodoos. We broke hoodoos all over the shot just in the last couple of months. But I'm going to go for a 2-1 Sunderland win against Peterborough. So what do you guys think is the scoreline, or what do you think the scoreline's going to be? Again, let me know in the comments down below. But if you have enjoyed this video, hit the like button for me. It's always massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army. But for now, you take care and stay jamming.